You just finished a major competition. What do you do now? Coach Cam fam, we're back to talk about reflections. This is one of the most underrated parts about competition and for you athletes to make sure you're getting the most out of every time you go compete. A lot of athletes care about their competition, so it's an emotional response just as much as a physical response. And as a result, we need to take advantage of those things to gain the experience we need to then ensure the highest level of success that we can possibly get. Let's get into it. Let's reflect. Now, before you get your notebooks to take down all the notes that are gonna make your success happen, make sure you subscribe, like, share these videos, get them out to other athletes so that we can help athletes and other high-performing people perform at the best level that they possibly can. Now let's get back to it. So what is a reflection? Now, it's basically just setting aside time to think about how you performed in a certain situation, whether it's a practice or an actual competition or a game, taking that time and actually thinking about what happened, what's going on. Now, the thing that everybody gets wrong is using their emotions or their judgments to start using that to write down what happened in the game or in the match. I'm gonna make sure that you actually look at it from an outside perspective, almost like you're coaching yourself to see all the different objective pieces that made your performance the way that it was. And this way we could take away information to say, I need to improve in these categories, but also I'm doing my best and doing well in these other categories. Now, everybody's invested a massive amount into whatever you're trying to do, especially when you're doing it at a high level. I'm not just talking about the money. I'm not just talking about the time. I'm not just talking about the not staying up late. I'm not just talking about time away from your friends, but the actual investment that athletes have and what they're trying to do makes it where there's not just a sport, there's actually multiple layers that go into it. So winning and losing invokes not only just an emotional response, but almost a spiritual progression. And that's why you see people celebrate it the way that they do or have responses in competition that invoke the emotions that us as fans or other coaches love watching. Now, the two basic categories are the athletes that succeed and actually have the medals to take home, and the other category is the athletes that don't have the best success. Now, reflecting in both of these categories are vital to make sure you are improving and taking away the most you can from those experiences to keep developing yourself and what's going on forward in your sport. For today's video, we're gonna look at reflection as a whole. Whether the competition went well for you or not so good for you, the progression of that reflection is going to maintain one certain path. Now, if athletes have specific goals, I usually talk to them about different things or direct that reflection in those specific way for that athlete. But for you guys, we're gonna start with the scale. Now, the scale is not referring to any weights, it's referring to how you feel on a scale of 1 to 10 the performance went. Address whether you feel horrible about it and you never want to do it again, that's the 1. All the way up to a 10 where you're the greatest of all time and you feel like you're invincible for everything that's to come. After you address how you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10, it adds a numerical value and you can refer back to that of how you're feeling in that moment instead of just letting those emotions go or suppressing them way down. And the first part of reflection involves you getting what's on your chest out there. An emotional response will always hinder or affect how you're thinking through things, so getting your emotions out first will help you with the rest of it. Address how you feel. You can talk to someone about it, whether it's a coach, parent, or whoever else, but if you're writing it down, I want you to write down the word what happened or the phrase what happened and use that to dictate exactly what's going on and how you feel about it. The next thing is then why? Why were those things coming up? Why were you successful in some cases? Why were you not so successful in some cases? And after that, we can look at it specifically into the second part of what are the challenges. Throughout my whole competition day, address what things were difficult. Was it your staging time that took way too long for you to warm up? Or were you not prepared? Did you fall asleep in the middle of your warm up? Or was it that you got injured in the middle of your competition day and you had to battle through that? That specific point is going to dictate the pace for the rest of what we're carrying on. Experience is gained by working through the challenges and finding what things are going to benefit you and how you're going to build forward from them. When we attach the emotions into that specific moment, you lost everything. Which is going to take us to the next part of the reflection. We need to know what you learned. How did you get better from this day of competition? Now, if there's not a specific way, what I would reflect on is go back to the challenge category and actually write down specific ways that you could improve from those challenges in this learned category. If you're doing this with a coach, this is a perfect time to reflect with them on what your performance had and maybe even watch some video. But for yourself, Actually write down what you learned, what you gained from that day so that all that investment is worth something. Now, finally, I need to know what you actually did well. A lot of athletes will dictate, oh, everything was bad because my actual performance or the outcome of my performance was bad. But that goes back to adding judgments and expectations on things that you're not working for. We have to take the necessary steps. And this is the moment where I want you to address maybe just having breakfast that day was the one good part. Or it could have been you did everything you possibly could have and the results didn't come through that day, but you did something well. Maybe it's your warm-up, maybe it's your performance routines, maybe it's the fact that you're just reflecting in that final moment, which is the thing that actually went well from that day. Finding the positive, even if it's something so small, is going to make the biggest difference going forward. There's gonna be some awesome videos coming up on self-talk and even mantras to help make sure that you are talking to yourself the best way. And the final part, go back to that scale. You're gonna draw a new scale or write down how you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, I feel great, I feel amazing, and 1 being, I still feel utterly horrible. And inevitably, you're going to feel better by just working through this process. And if you don't feel better, at least you're gonna be more grounded in order to move on with the rest of your day and then go from there. Now, the final part that I want you to realize is the next play mentality. The next play mentality refers to you literally thinking about the next play when this play is done. Taking the necessary time to reflect and get your emotions off your chest and off your shoulders and get that pressure away will then allow you to move on to the next part of your day. All the athletes in the world will go compete. Not all the athletes in the world will be successful, but I can guarantee that almost all the athletes that are in that competition will go have a meal after the tournament or after the competition is done. Make sure you let that part go with the next play mentality, move on, and make the next steps happen. So what do you think? How do you reflect or how do you cool down after competitions for yourself? What are some of the best ways that maybe you know and I don't know about how to help athletes be the best versions of themselves? And that's what we're here to do. Coach Cam fam, like, share, subscribe. You know the gist. Till next time, level up. Let's get it.